Hey, what's up? I'm Dan, and in this video I'll be demoing a game that I made in JavaScript for the browser, and the game is called Space Jump. It's a clone of Doodle Jump, which is an app that you might have played in the App Store on a mobile phone. So you type in your username that you want to play with, and the game brings up the rules, which tells you that you'll use the A and D keys to move, you'll encounter different kinds of platforms along the way, and different kinds of items. So you click Let's Go, and this is the basic UI of the game. You control this little square, and the square can jump on little platforms. And the square has gravity and momentum, and as you control him, he may fall off the screen, at which point your game is over and you die. Now your score is tracked by how high you climb, and so the more platforms you can jump on, the higher score you'll get. So we're going to put in a new player here, and this guy will appear on the leaderboard on the side, which is a Rails API. So this guy is going to jump hopefully a little bit higher. So if you notice, you can pass through the bottoms of platforms and not trigger collision detection. Collision detection is only queried on the way down from a jump. And so you might notice that there's a different kind of platform here, a red one. And the red ones you can only jump on one time, and they will disappear after you jump on them once, like this. There's also a little one that you see on the right. And here we see our first item. And actually our first two items. This first item is a magic wand, which you can press the spacebar to create a new platform beneath you. And the number of magic wands that you have on hand is shown in the upper right-hand corner. Right now we have 0 because we just used the one that we had. There was a purple platform that you might have noticed, and purple ones move back and forth. That was just a little bit of lag. You didn't actually jump on anything. And then a spring. And springs make you jump really high. That one was a little hard to get, so I'll get this one now. And there you go. And here is the final item, the third item, which is a rocket ship. If you get that, you will be attached to the rocket ship for a few seconds. You can control left to right, but the rocket ship will automatically go upwards about a few thousand points. And then at the end, the glow behind the rocket ship will fade away, signaling that you are about to jump off. And the character jumps off automatically, at which point you gain full control back. So you climb as high as you can. And the game is endless. There is no win condition. But what is true of this game is that the higher you climb, the more difficult it gets. And so I have a linear map between 0 and 100,000 points. And the higher you go, the higher the probability is of encountering fewer basic white platforms and more moving platforms, platforms that will be one use only, and platforms that are small. So rather than play all the way to 100,000 to show this off, I will just hack in a score, which is a feature I left in specifically for demo purposes. You can go into the console and set your game score to be whatever you want. So we'll start at 25,000, which is 25% harder than when you start at 0. So the score will update as soon as we climb up. So we're already at 25,000 points, and you can notice that we already have much fewer regular white platforms. And the ones that we do see are spaced out more, which means every jump is more difficult. Now, an interesting thing about the game is that every single jump is calculated to be possible. Whenever a platform spawns, it spawns in a left-right range and a new Y range that is makes it possible that you can make the jump from the last platform you jumped on, or the highest platform currently on the screen, to the next one that spawns. So the game is never unwinnable, but it does get much and much harder. So now we're going to set our score to 100,000, at which point the difficulty reaches its maximum. And you'll see how ridiculous it's going to be. I'm personally not good enough at this game to make it very far past 100,000. So we only have a couple platforms on screen at a time, and those that we do have are all special platforms, not just basic white ones. So at this point, I'm probably going to die. Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is the leaderboard. Every game that you have ever played is tracked on the leaderboard, and you can click your name and see a history of all of your different games. New player has only played one. But the other username I usually play on, Dan, has played many games, in fact 310, and it tells you your average score across all the games you've played. And you can toggle back and forth between your personal leaderboard and the leaderboard of everyone who has played the game. And on the main leaderboard, it shows only everyone's top score. That way, you don't see the same name listed many times in a row. So the next thing I will mention is themes. There are different themes that you can play with that change how the game looks, changes the fonts associated with the game. The platforms have certain glows around them. The jumper icon itself is different. This one's my favorite. And there are 4 of them. And some of the glow still needs to be worked on. But this was kind of a last-minute addition to the game. See if we could make things look a little bit better. So that's it. That's my demo of Space Jump, and thanks for watching.